Holistic connection. Let's heal. Holistic connection. Let's learn. Holistic connection. Let's grow. Holistic connection. Let's be real.
Hello, everyone. This is PamelaTopjian, your host for Holistic Connections Conversations with Holistic Practitioners. And today my guest is Tori from essenceofyourhealth.com. Welcome, Tori. And if you could please introduce yourself and share what you do in the holistic healing space, please.
Thank you, Pam. I appreciate it. And I'm so grateful to be here. And I appreciate that you share this holistic methods of healing and how it benefits people and the importance of it. So thank you. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's much needed.
It is. I am Tori Watson. I'm an energy practitioner and subconscious reprogrammer. And I work with animals and people, busy moms, children, pregnant mothers, and their husbands. I work on men too. And I help them identify any emotional or physical struggles that they're experiencing. And it can be anything from pain, disease, financial struggles, relationship issues, anything that's causing them discomfort. We identify the root cause and try to restore balance.
Nice, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, your website is amazing. It's really nice. So I suggest everybody go look at that. It's essenceofyourhealth.com, and we'll have that below as well. But on your website, you have a quote by Dr. Bruce Lipton: "Our beliefs control our bodies, our minds, and thus our lives." So if you can explain a little bit about that quote, what it means to you, and why you decided to put that on your website.
It means a lot to me. I love Dr. Bruce Lipton. He explains how, so because I'm a reprogrammer as well, he explains how beliefs shape your life, how they control the function of your body and your behavior, your decision making. And the subconscious mind, because it is incredibly powerful, 95% of the power in our life, and it's where our emotions and memories and functioning of the body is stored. Beliefs, which are wonderful if they're positive, if they're inhibiting, they can block us from creating the life we desire. It can affect our health, our overall health, our relationships, basically everything in our life. And there are many symptoms that are displayed. When I work on clients, you can see the symptoms. They're very common with people, the blocks that they have, because in our conscious mind, this is our thinking mind, where we have our desires and we plan and we strategize and when we're organized. And the subconscious mind is basically under the surface, and it controls our action, behavior, and decisions. So if there's something we want and we're not able to achieve it for whatever reason, it's a conflict between the conscious and subconscious. So what I do when we identify whatever struggles you have, I can work with the client and I surrogate. So I have a distance practice and I surrogate for them. So I'm connected energetically with their subconscious, and we muscle test. So I muscle test on my body and ask questions which are congruent or not. And we identify what those beliefs are. And the subconscious is very complex. But once we identify if you do have an inhibiting belief, we can shift it. We create whole brain posture and then we shift so that now you have a positive automated software, and you'll find the resistance releases, it dissipates, and now there's no struggle. So by removing that block, it makes it easier for you. You can, create something with ease. You no longer have the procrastination. You're taking action. Or you notice you're doing something in your life that you wouldn't have done before.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's surprising, even with myself and others, you think, whoa, did I just say that? Because now you've released that negative belief and now you have positive thinking. So
Yes,
it's
so amazing.
It is.
It
And
really is.
with the conscious mind is where we have thoughts and feelings. That's very powerful because it will shape the beliefs in our subconscious mind over time. So we have to be really aware of how we're thinking, our response to things. So it is work if we want to do some shifting, but that then shapes our beliefs, which then creates our life. So our life is a printout of our subconscious beliefs. That's why it's so important.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to mention that because I love Dr. Lipton too. And just the fact that you had put that on your website, I knew that would mean something to you. And the work that you do. So you did mention a little bit about some of the work that you do. Can you talk more about how you work with people?
Absolutely. So through my healing journey, I experienced a lot of different techniques. And as you know, there's many modalities out
Mm,
there. Yeah, and once we try one technique and we feel and experience the benefits, we want to try something else. You know,
yeah.
there's different methods that, and one thing works well for one person, and for another, it might be something else.
Yeah.
So I experienced other techniques. I had an incredible friend and mentor who was an energy healer and very influential in my journey. And through those techniques that I experienced, I realized I really want to help others help others go through this healing, that there is an option. You're not alone. If you've tried everything and you still feel stuck in your life, there are options, holistic options. So my first healing technique was PSYCH-K, which is belief shifting at a
Okay.
subconscious level. So once you get one modality, oh wow, you don't want to stop. You want to keep learning more techniques. So then Dr. Bradley Nelson offers emotion and body code. And these are techniques that identify the actual root cause of what your struggle is. And he does this through there's 6 elements to it. There's energy, your circuitry, your system in the body, misalignments, toxins we're exposed to, environmental toxins in the food we eat, things like that, and pathogens, which is huge right now for many people, and of course, lifestyle.
Yeah.
So all of these things will uncover, and it's usually emotion that is at the root of
Mm,
most of our physical emotional struggles always. So we identify that, and the idea is release and reset energetically, because our energy body is very powerful at influencing our physical body,
hmm.
and we release trauma and emotions and imbalances to restore balance. And once balance is restored, we have the best condition or the power to heal ourselves. So I simply facilitate, and then it is up to you to then heal.
Yeah. Yeah. So you sort of setting the stage for them to do the work themselves then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And would you say that that is the Psych K that you do, is that the modality that is the most misunderstood or the one that you get the most questions about? Or if not, what is there that you do you feel like is most misunderstood or there are most misconceptions about?
Well, I think that when a client comes to me, in the session, I want to use all the tools that are
Yeah.
needed for that particular struggle, which may be some or all. And I use a little bit of everything, but what I think the misconception is how powerful
Yeah.
quantum healing is.
Oh gosh,
That
yeah.
alone, and that it can work. It's not the only solution. I don't, Western medicine is very powerful as well, but it can only enhance that because of the mind and body connection, which science has proven that as
Mhm.
well. And I know you being a nurse, you have so much knowledge when it comes to the body,
Oh,
but the mind and body connection and the emotion, and how that's connected with the body and the physical response. So I think that the misconception is that energy, how powerful energy healing really can be,
yeah.
and how much power we have ourselves to heal, to
Yeah.
create that intention to heal.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that, that there is a big misconception about how powerful energy healing can be. No matter, energy healing can take many different forms. And like you said, there's not one thing that's best for everybody, and it's very personal. and very individual. So, we're so used to, at least in this country, we need something tangible, like here's the pill that you need, or here's the medicine, or here's the, physical treatment, whatever. And we don't think as much about energy and our energy body and how powerful that can all be for sure. So, yeah, great. So, you work with everybody, including animals. So, can you talk a little bit about how you work with animals? I do a lot of pet sitting and I love animals, and it's just so fascinating to me to hear people working with animals holistically and energetically. And so, yeah, I'd love to hear more about that.
That's why I felt this connection with you. I knew that you cared for animals, and it's so dear to my heart as well.
Yes.
And honestly, I go into the session the very same I do for people. I
Mm-hmm.
connect with them energetically, and surrogate and muscle test on myself. And a few years ago, when I got into this type of healing, I thought I'm going to work on my animals and
Yeah.
just see the response. And I couldn't believe. I'm still surprised after all this time and seeing the benefits. It still shocks you sometimes.
Yeah.
And I started working on my cat was really sick, and I took her to the vet, or took him to the vet, and I started working on him, and he couldn't even get out of bed. And
Mm.
I kid you not, 20 minutes later, he walked down the stairs, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But over time, what was revealed is that animals are vulnerable and sensitive and feel all the same things we do:
Oh, yeah.
abandonment, rejection, pain, hurt. And
Sure.
they may not react or respond the same. Some of them do. But again, these experiences they have and the emotions that they feel, if they're not processed or overwhelming, they build up in the body as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, they have a symptom or their behavior changes.
Yeah.
And there's some where I'll do maybe one session and we get to the root and
Mm-hmm.
there's great response. And then others, I have to work and do many sessions, and then symptoms might fade or disappear.
Yeah.
But it is remarkable to me that that's why it completely changed the way I look at animals, the
Yeah.
way I interact with them. I remember once I was looking at my bedroom window and there was an owl on the tree.
Oh,
And an hour later, he was still there. And I thought, oh, he wants my help.
yeah.
So I sat down and I started working on him, and it was, yes, I need your help. And
Oh,
and then after the session was done, he flew away, and I thought, oh, this is amazing.
yeah. I
So
just
it
got chills.
really,
So amazing. Yeah.
oh, it does feel good. So that's why even bugs, I treat them with the same respect I do, because I know that they're feeling beings just like we are.
Yeah, yeah. I have to ask you, since you mentioned bugs, we never have bugs in our house, never. And I had a ladybug the other day, and my husband said, "Oh, that's good luck." And I didn't know that. But so, what are your thoughts on finding a ladybug in a place that you've never seen any kind of bug?
My first thought is that somehow your energy has attracted him or her, has attracted her. And there may be something in your energy field and hers that has brought her to you. And whether she's trying to communicate with you in some way, or is this a symbol for you? Is this a message for you? So
Yeah.
sometimes I look at that, if whether it's a ladybug or a bee. I've had
Mm-hmm.
that where, and everyone gets scared and they want to kill them. No, 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 no. So I'll have it, they'll buzz around. I'll let them land on me and stay there. I'm not afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then they'll hang out for a bit and then go. And I just think, okay, was I supposed to be, did this bring me back to the moment? Was I not in alignment?
Yeah.
What does this mean? So I think it's a message a lot of the times.
Yeah. So I just let the ladybug be, and then I thought later, oh, I should have let her outside, because next time I went back, she wasn't in the same spot, so I didn't know where she went, and I haven't seen her since. That was a few days ago.
Okay.
But but I
So
thought, oh, I felt bad, like, oh, I should have let her outside, but but anyway. So back to the pets that you work with, and not just pets, animals, obviously, an owl too. So
yes.
as a pet sitter, something that I notice that I wonder if you notice as well is like if the family, the humans in their lives, are either fearful, anxious, angry, or have some emotional instability for whatever reason, that sometimes shows up in the animals. So I wonder if when you work on the human, does that sometimes transfer then over to their pets if their pets are really connected with them and sometimes showing some of those same symptoms and maybe the owner didn't even realize that it was within them that was also affecting their pets.
100%.
Yeah.
And we do the best we can. I just
Hmm.
first want to say that because we all go through our own stuff and carry
Sure.
baggage. And a lot of the times, so because pets are sensitive, they
Hmm.
can absorb our energy,
Yeah.
literally absorb our emotions, and they get stuck within them. And a lot of the time, the health of your pet is a reflection of the energy in the home.
Yeah.
And that's why I always, the best thing we can do for them is try and stay calm and relaxed a lot of the time because their behavior will reflect that. And if you notice, I notice with myself and my own pets that they sometimes mimic
Yeah.
my health. So if I'm not feeling well, if I have stomach issues, I notice Lily or something comes up, she'll have the same imbalance. And I'll think,
Yeah.
I cannot believe this has shown up. I say that because I know logically, okay, this work, it does reveal that and it is possible, but it's
Yeah.
still shocking sometimes. But yes, and just like us with our partner or our children,
Hmm.
we absorb their energy
Yeah.
as well if we're not, because if your daughter or son is feeling overwhelmed with emotion as a mother, you're right there, you're in the field, you may absorb that as well. It's just nature, and
Yeah.
we do the best we can to eliminate that, but it's really hard with
Yeah.
our pets because they're so loving and right by our side all the time.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
And I
to answer
think
your
that
question, yes.
yeah, yeah, and I think that people don't realize that enough. So yeah, just it's I think it's good to bring awareness to that. And anybody who has pets understands how close they are and how they're connected, but a lot of times they don't think that they're aware that their own issues might be affecting their pets as well. So if you have somebody that comes to you to work with their pet, do you then ask them about what might be going on with them or anybody in the household?
I do at times, and then I try to be very careful
Yeah.
because I don't want to offend and I don't want people to think, okay, because they're going through, let's say, the most traumatic experience of their life. It's all they can do at the capacity that they have
Hmm.
to not shed that onto their pet. But I do ask if I know the person really well and it is
Yeah.
an existing client, because I do get a lot of busy moms and they'll
Hmm.
just refer their whole family
Yeah.
and their pet being one of them. So I already know, okay, this is happening with the children. This is what she's going through. This makes sense. But there are times where it is heartbreaking because, for example, the dog, they're working more, they're not home as much, and the
Yeah.
dog feels abandoned.
Sure.
So the best I can do is to help facilitate with them, release those emotions, release the trauma from these events that occurred in the past, realign the misalignments, and hope that once they restore balance, they're able to keep it that way, to
Yeah.
sustain that. But then again, they might feel emotion again. So it's this circle for us.
Hmm.
But there's a lot of times where things are good for a long period of time and then we
Yeah.
take a dip and we need more wellness, like a wellness routine. We need that
Sure.
regularly.
Sure.
But for
Absolutely.
them, you bet.
Yeah. So you work with people remotely and you said that you're sort of a surrogate for them and then do some body testing in that. So do you absorb that very much or is there some routine or ritual or something that you do to help so that you don't automatically just take on everything that you're helping people with?
Absolutely, because in the beginning, I was naive and didn't realize. And
Yeah.
I could feel things after I released from someone else that I had absorbed. So, one of my mentors, a very powerful woman, she provided me with some insight and a technique. So I ask the spirit guides to protect me with light and love. And with that intention, because intention is so powerful,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to have helped. So then I just continue that routine before every session. But
Nice.
I do work on myself regularly. And I think a lot of practitioners do, because regardless of what we do to help prevent that, we can still be vulnerable
Sure.
and attract that from someone else or absorb it. So yeah, for the most part, it's much better now. I think our skill develops with time too,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it works better now, and I just work on myself regularly because you want to be in the best condition for those you're helping.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned that you have the gift of clairvoyance on your website. You mentioned that. So does that help you with the work that you do?
It does. And when I was very young, I thought you think everybody can just sense emotions or, you know, read people
How do
without
you
them
know
saying
what other
anything.
people know? Yeah,
Right.
and feel. Yeah.
So, and I've had the odd premonition throughout my life, and then I realized maybe I should embrace this. And when I started getting into this work, and then I had Akashic record reading. So I
Yeah.
had a session with that, and then that came up. So it
Yeah.
identified it for me, and I thought, oh, that's what that is. And it does help. I think it provides more intuition. I can sense things sooner.
Hmm.
And then with experience, as you work on more people or animals and that kind of thing, then you think, oh, I know what this is. Or
Yeah.
sometimes you sense the imbalance before you've even got the
Started your work.
answer or
Yeah.
tested. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
So
totally see that. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That really adds like another layer of the way that you work with people and yeah, just having that sort of intuition about what's going on. And especially, you had mentioned working with sometimes the whole family and that. So they're all connected, whether they know it or not. So once you've connected with somebody in the family, it probably really helps you with the rest of the family. Is it all remote or do you work with people in person?
it's all one-on-one, and
Mhm.
I'll explain why. And it is all remote.
Okay.
And I find because people are so busy now that a lot of the time they'll text me and just say, this is what's going on. Can you work on my husband? And
Ah,
because of timing and driving to the location and working in person, and because
sure.
the work is as effective if you're sitting right here with me or not, so then they'll just text me and they'll say, okay, I'm available at 4 o'clock this day. I will work on him and I will email the findings. And I find more and more people, when they see the benefits and know it's working, they would rather do that
Oh,
than
sure.
be present because someone else is doing the work, and then they then have to do their work on their end
Yeah.
when the session is complete. But then I send an audio and explain what each imbalance means. But if you're doing it initially, I think that's for existing clients. The initial session should be live because I really want to have that chemistry and connection and understand them,
Yeah.
find out about your life. Then they can see how it works. And
Hmm.
then after that, they'll say, oh, okay, that's what that is. So it's
Yeah.
easier.
And then just to meet, both ways, to meet the person you're working with and for them to meet the person who's working with them. So yeah, yeah, that's great.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
you're in the comfort of your own home. You can relax
Oh
and feel
gosh.
safe and lay
Yeah.
down if you want to. Yeah.
Right. And you can be in the most comfy spot in the most comfy clothes. You can have your pets with you or not, and not have the whole, got to get back in my car and deal with traffic, right after a session, that can kind of really break up some of that. Yeah. So that's great. Yeah. I love that. And so then will you work with people in faraway areas or?
I do. Yes. So the furthest I've worked on is I had a client from Italy,
Hmm.
different countries, because I think with energy, it doesn't matter where you
Right.
are. I still feel as close to them.
Yeah.
And then they might refer someone else in the same area. And it works really, really well. And I try to open myself to receive those in alignment, those who really need that we would have chemistry. So I ask the universe, like, who needs my help,
Yeah.
and those that are ready to do the work on their end. And I've been blessed with wonderful clients. It's just really great.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you asked that of the universe and to have them find you and you find them. That's great. Yeah, I love that. So let's talk about all the places that people can find you and where's the best place for somebody to reach you.
Okay. I do post a lot through Instagram
Okay.
and TikTok, so you can find me there. And the bookings, to book a session, you would go to my website. It's
Okay.
super easy, and then you can see what's available and go from there. And then some existing clients, they just text me direct once they've
Right.
gone through the process because it's just easier for them, and then I book for them. But the best way to start is to go through the website.
Okay, and that is essenceofyourhealth.com. And
Correct.
then on Instagram, it's also Essence of Your Health, or do you have your
That's right.
name? Okay. And
Essence of your health.
and is it the same on TikTok then as well?
It is, yes.
Okay, okay. So we'll have all those links in the show notes and in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. So is there anything else that you would like to add or share before we go today?
I think if we're reaching those that are going through something right now, I was there, so I do understand what you're going through. And sometimes you can feel so alone and not know where to turn or what to do. And with holistic healing, there's always a technique or a method. There's always someone there. Just ask the universe, align me with who I need. And it's surprising when you pay attention, things that come into your life on a daily basis, whether someone recommends a book or says something to you, pay attention because that may be that door that you need to open and start you on your journey. So you're not alone. There is help.
Yeah, yeah. Great message. Great message. Yeah, ask the universe. Or if you feel like you have spirit guides or whatever your belief system is, ask for that
Yes.
assistance and then it's important to be aware. Pay attention to what
Yes,
comes into your life then. Yeah, yeah. Great, great.
exactly.
So thank you so much, Tori, for being my guest today and sharing so much about what you do and how you do it. It's so interesting, and I'm sure that the viewers and listeners have learned something today. So whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast platforms, please check out her website. The links will be in the show notes. So thanks again.
Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate you.